Well folks, it looks like we got some more news about the brand new Assassin's Creed game that is currently in development called Assassin's Creed Valhalla. Over here we have an interview with a historian who elaborates a little bit about things such as women warriors, Viking culture, and of course some more things. So yeah, now as it pertains to Assassin's Creed and all that, I'm really not that much of a fan of the whole franchise because yeah, again, Ubisoft, in their whole make the same game over and over type of bullshit, but the recent Assassin's Creed games have been decent, so let's hope they do something different with this one as well. So with that being said, let's get on with it, shall we? Okay, so it says Assassin's Creed Valhalla has been announced, featuring a new story revolving around Vikings. The series is known for its accurate depictions of historical time periods, and an interview with the historian Thierry, I hope that's how you pronounce it, Thierry Noel, sheds more light about how the time period and Norse people will be depicted. As it turns out, the common presumptions many people have about the Vikings are only partially accurate and don't paint the whole picture. That's actually very, very true. Like, the Vikings have been really painted badly by history and all that, and of course we can thank the Christian church for that, but anyway, to not open any cans of worms, let's just continue on with this. To start, Noel is careful to define the word Vikings outside the usual pop culture image of brutal plunderers. He said that the Vikings actually refers to the elite Norse class, which includes traders, explorers, and seafarers, as well as invaders. Some of the history of the Vikings was written by monks or victims of Viking invaders, which helped shape the more brutal and negative perception. That said, he points out that this is taking place during the Dark Ages, a period where relatively little is known compared to the surrounding Roman Empire era and the medieval era. What we do know about the Vikings was that the society was surprisingly forward-thinking. Actually, it's not really surprising if you actually learned about it and all that. But yeah, the Vikings were really awesome, I gotta say. Not only were they badass warriors, they were the first Europeans that discovered America. I really do hope that the new game does actually feature Eric the Red, the guy who led the expedition, and of course his crew. I really do hope that the story ends up following a lot of the key historical moments of the Viking peoples. So yeah. It continues with a quote that says, "The gap between reality of the Norse society and the image we have of the reckless Viking was really interesting to me." He said to Ubisoft, "They were a fascinating society in terms of culture, a pretty fair way they treated women who had important rights at the time. It was contradictory to the common image of what we have of the Vikings." Yeah, that is also very true. There were female warriors in the Viking era and all that stuff, and of course the women were pretty much the heads of the household, since they pretty much took care of the household. The men were out raiding and all that. It continues with, "In Valhalla, your character Ivor can be a man or a woman." Noel said that there will be no clear answer for whether women were warriors in Norse culture. Actually, there were some female warriors found in warrior graves and all that, but their mythology was full of formidable women, so they incorporated them into the story. Ivor starts by leaving their homeland to discover a new settlement, and in the actual historical record, the Vikings carved through a divided England. And this is actually really cool to me, because even if they end up not featuring King Ragnar and his sons, it will definitely feature the Vikings conquest through Northumbria and all that stuff. Over here we have another quote saying, "At the time, England was a multi-ethnic society. It was dominated by the Anglo-Saxons, but there were also Britons, descendants of ancient Rome, and many others." He said it was a wealthy land, but it was a divided land, especially between rival Anglo-Saxon kingdoms. This was all very appealing for the Vikings, who took advantage of the situation of a divided England. Yeah, that's also another true thing. They did take advantage of it, but the things that the Vikings were really trying to find was actually fertile land and all that. Because of course a lot of the Vikings that did actually raid were actually from the coast, and on the coast at that time, and of course with the frigid and unforgiving Arctic conditions of the Nordic countries, they really couldn't grow all that much besides flax that they used to trade and all that. It also says the one that didn't fall, Noel said, was Wessex, ruled by Alfred, and Noel says he is a very important character. The first gameplay trailer for Valhalla is coming on May 7th, so that's actually pretty soon, and now is May 2nd. As a part of an Inside Xbox presentation on the current Xbox Series X games, I hate the goddamn name. It will also support Microsoft's smart delivery feature, letting you buy the game on one platform and upgrade it at no additional cost. While you wait for the first footage of Valhalla in action, check out the first stunning screenshots and read our Assassin's Creed Valhalla pre-order guide. We're going to take a look at some of those screenshots right now, and I'm going to link those in the description down below so you can take a look at it yourself. And as we can see over here, we have some screenshots right here. There's 6 of them, and I'm going to be doing a small slideshow of them right here. And I really do hope there won't be any, downgrades that happen and all that, because we still haven't, forgotten the, stink that Watch Dogs 1 left us and all that. Thankfully, the recent Assassin's Creed games, if they're anything to go by, there won't be any downgrades, or even if there are, sadly, there probably won't be as apparent and all that. Some really, really beautiful scenery, as you can see. Some really greatly sculpted environments. Over here we got some battle pictures. You'll be able to dual-wield axes, as you can see, which is actually very accurate because of the berserkers, In the Viking times, there were documents of berserker warriors that would actually take magic mushrooms and would dual-wield weapons. And over here we have a really, really nice picture, a compilation of some different, armor sets and weapons that we can have throughout the game. This, like, morning star looking thing is actually pretty cool. I wonder what that is. And of course, on the final picture we have the Vikings obviously taking on the English. That's going to be pretty cool. I'm definitely curious to see what this is going to be turn out to be and all that stuff. And again, I really do hope that this game ends up featuring a lot of the key moments in Viking history, such as, of course, the discovery of America, or at least hinting to it, with featuring Eric the Red and his explorer crew. And since your character is going to be the one discovering England, I really do hope that Ragnar and his sons do make some kind of an appearance. But even if they don't, it will just be one key moment that they're missing, which is most likely one of the biggest moments. I'd also like to see the founding of Iceland, as well as the sacking of Paris, and of course I would love to see things such as, showcasing how well the Vikings traded and all that. There are historical, like documents of Vikings actually going all the way down to possibly in North Africa to trade things like tusks and seal fat and all that. So yeah, all of those things, I really do hope that the game will be featuring a lot of them, or at least alluding to them. And of course, I really am wondering what the gameplay in this game is going to be about. Like, first off, the combat. Is it going to be more like the previous Assassin's Creed games, or are there going to be new mechanics? Like I've said with the with the real life berserkers, they did take magic mushrooms to enhance themselves in battle and all that stuff, make themselves more aware. As well as I would love to see lots of naval combat and all that, boarding enemy ships. That would be absolutely badass. But yeah, we're just gonna have to wait and see for the trailer, which will be coming in May 7th. So yeah, that's pretty much it for today. It is pretty cool that they're going to be doing a Viking themed Assassin's Creed and all that stuff. Now all that's left is Japan. So yeah, anyway everyone, thank you all so much for watching. Be sure to subscribe to the bell icon, and if you wish to support me in a comment page, link is in the description below. And as always, I'm Cyber Rampage, and I'll be seeing you guys in the next video.